Hi all, and welcome back to the Uncharted Studio. Today feels a little different because today marks 100 days since I started something that means so much to me. 100 days since I decided to take a chance to dedicate myself to my art, to my writing, to slowly trying to find my community and to creating this little corner of the internet. So in today's video, I just wanted to sit down and have a chat to reflect on things I've learned over these last 100 days and share some of my biggest takeaways from video editing chaos to vulnerability breakthroughs. I started the Uncharted Studio because I was craving a place where creativity didn't have to be overwhelming, where it could just be calm and intentional, and where we could connect in a deeper, more authentic way. It's a space for people who crave calm, intentional, simple creative living, and who just want to make things, but also to rest and to dream. It's all about living deeply and in a way that's authentic to who you are. The name came from the idea that exploring our creativity is something ongoing. It's not just a destination, but it's something that we move through this uncharted space together with curiosity. And to be honest, I didn't have a perfect plan. I had an idea and I had a dream. And here we are 100 days later, and I'm really moved that we got this far. It's, I just knew I had to start somewhere, even though I wasn't ready. I don't think we ever feel ready to just start, but I knew that I had to do it. So I set a deadline and kicked off, and it's not been perfect. I've messed up. I've missed weeks of content, but I've also created things that I'm proud of and things that people have resonated with. I've gotten messages from people talking about how they're gonna try out the tips I shared this week, or that they've tried them out and that it helped them get through a block, and that means the world to me. So, I had to leave my corporate life behind and to listen to that little voice inside me that's always been saying, do it. What you love doing is helping other people with their creativity, so just take a risk. And here we are. Like I said, 100 days later. And it's a celebration. I haven't done amazingly well. This isn't one of those channels that are a testament to how to grow on YouTube and how to grow on social media, but I'm proud of where we've gotten, and I'm grateful for every single person who is part of this journey with me. I had worked in creative industries for years. I was a photographer. I've been a writer for years and years. Then I went into advertising, but I was craving a space for my own, but also a space for you, for each and every person viewing this video, where we can create safely in a haven, in this little studio. So here we are, 100 days later, and that's over 14 weeks of mostly consistent content. I can hardly believe it. So let's talk about what I've learned. One of the things that hit me and I didn't expect is that weekly content is kind of hard. It stretched me in all the best ways. editing videos every single week really hammered the point in that done is better than perfect. And looking back on what I've done, I mean, it isn't perfect, far from it. I've made mistakes. I watch videos and I'm like, oops, the sound there, or oh my gosh, it's out of focus. But it's done, and I'm learning every single week. Every time I make something new, I try to experiment in some way, whether that's to be more playful or to be more vulnerable, to have it be chattier as a video or have a more interesting editing style, whether that's to make a carousel that's a bit more artistic or abstract, or to write longer captions. Everything is an experiment, and I'm really loving the process. But it is stretching me in ways I never expected. Coming up with content, having this calendar of ideas of things I want to release has been really exciting. And then sometimes I sit down to write my scripts and I'm just blank. And that is also surprising. But I love working through it, and I love feeling like everything I create adds some value. And that was another thing that I keep trying to focus on. As a channel, what I want to do is offer value to people who are viewing this. So I've got 14 weeks of content, and maybe not all of them are equal, but all of them come from the heart. Some weeks were smooth, others felt like fighting an uphill battle of clumsiness and awkwardness. But every week felt like growth, and that's a really important thing to focus on. The second, well, part of this first takeaway, but also kind of its own thing, is that I've learned to be happy with how much I'm experimenting, regardless of whether it's a successful experiment or not. I'm finding my way, and I feel like pushing my boundaries so much. It just feels like constant growth. Sometimes I post something and it gets like 3 views and 2 of them are my partner. Other times I post something and there's over 1,000 views and it deeply resonates, and that's just so great. It feels good to be able to try things constantly and just see what resonates with more people. And if I make something and it just makes one person feel inspired or seen or heard, it's worth it. It's worth it to me, because that's the kind of impact that I want to have with everything I create. I don't know, even with all this experimentation, I feel like I'm constantly being a lot more playful. And dare I say it, I'm even getting used to the sound of my own voice, which I never thought would happen. But yeah, I've learned that connection means so much more to me than numbers. I was thinking about this just before starting, setting these targets for, when I get X many subscribers and X many views and X many hours, and when I monetize this channel. Yeah, those are goals. But getting a comment that said that there are tips in this week's video that they really want to try because they've been struggling with their creativity, or a comment that said things like, wow, I expected this to be from a much bigger channel because it was so well made. These things meant so much more to me than the numbers, than hitting 100 subscribers or whatever. And I've learned that is what I want to be my priority here. My priority is connection. I genuinely connect with the people I follow and with the people who follow me in every way I can. I think that's the beauty of this online world and of social media, is that we don't have to be alone in our little island, in my case. We can connect with just this vast world out there, full of people who are in some ways like us. So yeah, to the people who messaged me, to the people who commented, to the people who supported or shared a video of mine, really, thank you. I'm so grateful. And I'm equally grateful to my longtime friends who are supporting me through my efforts, to the new faces and the new friendships I'm forging online, and to the people who just show up and have a look, stick around for a little bit. It's really good to be part of this growing community. I learned that vulnerability is a creative tool, that the more open I am, the more vulnerable I am, the more what I'm making resonates. But also I'm learning to establish boundaries between my online life and my real life. There are some things that I will choose to keep private, and that makes sense. Now, where those lines are, I'm still figuring out, but I'm showing up as me every time I record a video, every time I make a post, and that feels good. It feels good to just be here with you all. I've learned that the more open I am, the more connection happens. That showing up as myself, even when I'm unsure of what I'm doing, is enough. The surprise, though, was about how much this vulnerability, this openness has impacted my own creativity. I just finished a book last month, and it was my most vulnerable writing to date. It felt raw in a good way. And I'm looking forward to keeping this vulnerability in my own creative practice moving forward, as well as obviously through here. And I'm creating this little safe corner of the internet for people who want to live more intentionally and compassionately, with creativity at the core of what they do. Even with a small baby creative channel, I've learned that creative growth isn't about speed, but rather about depth. And it's about showing up to find the people who this would resonate with. Finding my people, finding my tribe. Okay, but you know, I love numbers. I know you love numbers, and this is kind of what some people are waiting for. So here we have just a few to celebrate. And I know my numbers aren't shocking. This isn't a video of a shocking success story, but I'm celebrating each and every little baby step. So on YouTube, as of filming this, I have 43 subscribers, 40 videos posted, and 17,511 views. On Instagram, I have 149 followers and 49 posts or reels. On Threads, I have 92, and I don't have 100 followers yet, so I can't see any more insights, but if you're on Threads, come on, just help a girl out. And across all platforms, I've got 284 followers or subscribers. Oh, and there are 19 more on TikTok, so that puts me at 303 after 100 days. And I'm proud of that. I know it's not a huge number by any means, but I'm really proud. I see these as a badge of honor for me, of a validation that maybe I am finding my people slowly, steadily, week by week. And I know I still have a baby channel, but every view, every comment, every subscriber, every shared piece of content just reminds me that this is working, that this is real, that the impact I'm having in very, very small way is happening, and that's all I could ask for. So I'm so grateful. If there's a big takeaway from this video, it's thank you. Yeah. Okay, so what's next? Where do we go from here? I mean, I've got some content that really excites me planned for the next 100 days. I've got more long-form videos planned. I've got many, many more experiments planned, and I'm planning on going back to my experiments with writer routines, travel plans and the summer holidays and everything just threw a wrench in that. But I have a few planned for next month and the months after that that I hope you'll enjoy. And then, I don't know, I plan to just keep showing up, to keep being myself, to keep creating, to keep growing, and maybe slowly making the space a little bit bigger. If there is anything that you really would like to see or learn about, do let me know. I'd love to make videos that respond to where you're at right now, and that could help you overcome any challenges you're facing. I just want to keep making space for creative people to feel inspired, safe, and calm. And I'm not trying to rush anything. I want to keep doing this in a way that feels good, that feels sustainable, that feels impactful. Basically, I'm learning as I go, and I'm taking you with me. So if you've been here from the start, thank you. If you're just joining from this video, I'd love for you to stick around. Welcome, you are right on time. Here's to the next 100 days, and let's keep growing together. If you have watched this all the way through and you feel like this space is maybe a little creative haven, drop a house emoji in the comments for me. I'd love to know who you are so we can connect further. And then, yeah, let me know of something that you've done lately that you're proud of, or something that could completely transform your life in 100 days if you started today. Thank you. Thank you for spending time with me today.